Howdy folks, my name is ReadyApco, and welcome back to part number 9 of Let's Play Super Mario 64. In the last part, we took on the 5th course, Boo's Big Haunt? Or was it Big Boo's Haunt? I don't know. It was a spooky place, so this time we're going to be moving on to, unfortunately, another spooky place. And what is probably actually my least favorite level of all of the 15. The other ones all have something at least that I like about them, but this one, well, you know, I do like one thing about it. The toad in this room gives you a star. It's pretty fantastic, right? No, I actually like that this level's entrance is contextualized within the castle. As you can see, it's a big hole in the ground, and it's going to lead us into course number 6, Hazy Maze Cave. Swimming Beast in the Cavern.
Let's go.
I do have to say that I enjoy the music here also. I can't say that I hate everything about Hazy Maze Cave, but what I do dislike about it is, well, you know, it is a big maze. It really genuinely stands up to that. I very much don't remember the exact path through the level almost every single time, and I get crushed by boulders also almost every single time. However, I think that I have recalled the correct path to get to our very first star at the very least. We saw another one over there, but the one that we are looking for in particular is going to be down this elevator. Got a big giant underground water source, which I always thought is conceptually cool. I don't know why I'm bringing it up again, but for whatever reason I was reminded of, you know, I always enjoy in Minecraft whenever you find an underwater water source. There's just something cool about, you know, cave lakes. They're just neat. Though I wouldn't recommend them in real life, I'm pretty sure. They're probably just as dangerous. If I know anything else about cave diving, it's that it is, you know, kind of a dangerous activity. So I would imagine, you know, a cave lake is pretty similar to just, you know, an underwater cave. At least I would think. So we've got our beast in the cavern here, and with its help, can fall off almost every single time. I'm particularly bad at jumping from, I believe this... It's not Tessie, because that's the one from Earthbound. I'll have to show a pop-up on the screen for what this beast's name is, because I always forget it, but this character actually ended up being a returning character in the, I think it was New Super Mario Bros. That introduced him again for the very first time. It was actually introduced similar to this as a level mechanic. I think it actually had the same exact mechanic where if you ground pound on the back, the head would lower down for you to jump on. I vaguely remember something like that, though it's been a very, like, oh my goodness, it's been so long since I played New Super Mario Bros. I can't even imagine when that would have been when I last played it. And there we go, very first star in Hazy Maze Cave. As you can see, it's already a bit longer than the other stages. Excellent, excellent. I'm only 20 minutes into recording and I can finally start star number 2, elevate for 8 red coins. However, as much as I would love to do that star, since it's giving me so much trouble, we're actually going to be taking a little bit of a detour. As it turns out, I just remembered that there is another star in Hazy Maze Cave that is actually not connected to the cave itself. You'll understand what I'm talking about when we get there, but I figured that it was actually a more important piece of business to take care of first before we get on to trying to collect 100 coins in this stage, and you will understand my reasoning as soon as we get past this point. Oh man, it's actually really silly. So I attempted to do the 100 coin star 2 times, failed, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna run around the cave a little bit and make sure that I actually know, you know, a route to be able to collect 100 coins. And I came to the realization that just down here, this is accessible as soon as you have access to Hazy Maze Cave. You don't actually have to do the first star up on that island, but we're going to go ahead and get up on the friendly dinosaur's back here. And I actually also learned while I was doing this that if you move to the different sides of this guy's head, you can steer it ever so slightly to go the direction that you would like to. Or maybe it's not by walking around on the head, perhaps you just point Mario in the direction you want him to go. But you can actually steer it a little bit, and it makes it a lot easier to get over to tricky platforms, such as this one over here. It's a little trickier to get to than the island. Actually, that's not true. It is a little bit easier to get to, but inside the Hazy Maze Cave, we find another Hazy Maze Cave. But no, jumping into this pit, Welcome to the Metal Cap Switch course. Once you step on the cap switch, the green blocks will become solid. When you turn your body into metal with the metal cap, you can walk underwater. Try it! Sounds like I just might do that. So yeah, this gives us a cool new power-up in the form of the metal cap, which is pretty baller, and just as the description said, it allows us to walk underwater when using it, which I think is a pretty neat power-up myself. And also the music for the metal cap is a classic. Everyone loves this music, or at least everyone's civilized, I would hope. And if you accidentally get washed out of that waterfall, I believe you get returned to the castle moat or some such. The little water patch that is connected to the moat. So let's go ahead and not do that. Let's actually delicately collect these 8 red coins in here. As you might imagine, just like the other cap courses, there's going to be some red coins in here for us to collect. Let's go ahead and grab the first 4, hit the switch. Oh, that's cool. You can hit it by climbing on it like that. You've just stepped on the metal cap switch. The metal cap makes Mario invincible. Now metal caps will pop out of all the green blocks you find. Would you like to save? Yeah, that sounds like a reasonable idea to me. Wow, these crystals have some crazy textures. They are flashing like crazy. So, just like the box said, or just like the text box said, all of those green exclamation point boxes now are going to contain metal caps for us, which is very, very convenient. Let's go ahead and grab all of the other 4 red coins, make a star appear, grab it, and then head on back into the Hazy Maze Cave. Actually do that 100 coin star, why don't we? Alrighty, let's actually tackle star number 2, Elevate, for 8 red coins. So unfortunately, doing the metal cap, that entire area is cut off from the rest of the cave. You can't keep the coins that you could gather from there and take them back into the cave, unfortunately. But, you know, I think that's actually alright. We should be able to survive without it. I'm gonna go ahead and start collecting the 100 coins here. It's a little bit tricky. This is one of the very tricky 100 coin stars. There's only about that many in the stage, so you really need to be careful with which coins you collect. Try not to have them rush off the edge like that, because you'll find towards the end that you are really scraping the bottom of the bucket for coin opportunities. But I think we'll be alright. I know somewhat of the way that we're supposed to go to be able to get these coins, so most of that way involves stomping on spiders, which is actually not okay with me. If you can try to avoid it, you know, try killing spiders. They're actually helpful. They kill pest insects like, you know, flies and cockroaches and such. And, yeah, they can actually be positive. Adopt a spider bro today. That is my PSA. And, avoid poisonous gas today. Also, don't jump in there because you take a heck of a lot of damage. This is very silly of a situation that I'm now in. Thankfully, the metal cap is going to make us invincible for the purposes of running through this poison gas. And this blue coin switch. Now, this is very important that you collect all of the blue coins that are provided by this switch. If you do not, you might not actually have enough to be able to complete the stage, and that would be really sad. And the maze here with the poison gas is just so mean. They've got these holes that you get trapped in, and it just does constant damage to you, and I really do not like Hazy Maze Cave that much. It is not my most favorite stage of all time. And then they hide the metal cap blocks behind, or in the poison gas like that. I guess hide isn't the correct word, but you know, I'm just not the biggest fan of everything about this place, basically. I think that it is an okay stage, but it isn't definitely my least favorite out of the 15. We'll be able to see some of the cooler ones, thankfully, later. Alrighty, and if we jump up here where those blue coins were leading us to, I believe this is going to lead us back into the center section of the cave, where we can collect our 8 red coins, so that's going to bring us to 81. And then 91, oh, I don't think this actually is, no, this should bring me back to the main section of the cave, although unfortunately now I have to wait for the elevator again. Come back! Come back! I need you! Actually, I believe this is going to lead up to a different section of Hazy Maze Cave now that I'm thinking about it. I think this will actually be advantageous for us to be able to collect some extra coins. And this will also actually lead back to the center section of the cave eventually. Yeah, there's some up there, although I don't know how exactly I feel about... yeah, see, last time I tried climbing up here with Mario, he let go extremely prematurely. So now I am holding the button with all of my possible might, so that such a thing does not occur to me again. And then I'm going to safely drop down here where the boulders are, get absolutely clobbered by one of them, and I think this should make it enough coins for us to be able to grab those red coins and get on out of here. Oh, yes, this is the perfect amount of coins. Excellent. Yay! 84 is exactly how many we're going to need. Oh, this leads back to the lake, though, does it not? Yeah, I don't need to be down here for any particular reason. See, it really looks like I know what I'm doing, does it not? No, but on a more serious note, all we need is 84 coins, and then the red coins being worth 2 each. 2 times 8 is 16, brings us to exactly 100. So we've got the perfect amount of coins, and I believe there's other coin opportunities in there as well. There are the 2 eyeball enemies in the big central room that has the red coins in it. And those, as we had seen in the previous part, give you a total of 5 coins each from the blue coins, so that is actually pretty exciting. Oh no! Oh no! Can you imagine how tragic it would have been if I had died with 84 coins right there? Let's take a more sane and reasonable route, why don't we? Alrighty, and then right through this door is going to lead us to the central room, right? Yes. This leads exactly to the place that I need it to, and we can finally get on with the actual 8 red coins part of the 8 red coins mission. It is kind of goofy that the 100 coins always take me so long, but that's what you get for going into these things unplanned. Alrighty, so what we've got to do, we've got this platform here that has some arrows on it, and by stepping on the arrows, it'll move in a particular direction. However, if it hits an obstacle that it can't float under, like these boxes, it'll just flatten Mario beneath. I've never seen that before, I don't think. But if it hits an obstacle that it cannot move through, oh, it looks like it just barely slid past that platform. But, for example, if I run it into this eyeball platform right here, it'll immediately start going the other direction. So thankfully it doesn't just fall out of the air like one might possibly suspect with a mechanic like this when it hits a wall. And if you are so unfortunate to fall off of it, the statue, that was an interesting word that my mind came up with to describe the platform will respawn exactly where you left it, of course, right up here. Alrighty, and this is a kind of, it's kind of tricky to control. I've never particularly liked moving platforms like this. I've seen in quite a few games. It's actually really weird. If I'm remembering correctly, there's an example of a platform like this in the Subspace Emissary for Super Smash Bros. Brawl. There's a platform that you control by stepping on arrows that are on it, and there is a platform. It's actually really funny. It would have been the Game Boy Advance version of Fairly Odd Parents. It was Shadow, some such. I completely forget exactly what that game was, but oh no, there's not quite enough room to walk circles around that guy. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought there might be a red coin under him, actually. But yeah, it was a Fairly Odd Parents game for the Game Boy Advance, and it had a platform that you had to control by stepping on the arrows, and it was extremely tricky. For whatever reason, I always find it hard to wrap my brain around moving platform concepts like this when you control it. It's always a really tricky thing for me to be able to do. I could have sworn that these guys are protecting some red... Oh. Man, this is embarrassing. This is a truly embarrassing time. Alrighty. I mean, I never did claim to be good at this game, but then, oh no, it's 31 minutes in and I have only done 3 of the 7 stars. I'm not even halfway there. Although, you know, half of 7 would be 3.5. But you get my point. I am slacking, and a lot of that, to be fair, was me exploring the level in a more unrestricted fashion than normal. Okay, seriously, how do you run circles around those guys? There's not enough room. There's that, that is very perplexing. Or perhaps I'm just moving the stick too violently. See, I actually had a suspicion earlier that my control stick sensitivity settings might actually be such that I'm moving the stick outside of what the normal Nintendo 64 bounds would have been, and so Mario's moving a little bit faster for me. That might be totally ridiculous, but it was a thought that I had happened to have. I'd have no idea. Oh, that was interesting. But yeah, it would definitely explain why I'm having so much trouble controlling Mario when I swear I've beaten this game before. As a matter of fact, if I go back on my Nintendo Wii, I can see my original save file with 72 stars. And you know, it's wouldn't show if you just showed someone the gameplay footage of me playing it recently. I don't think that they would guess that this is a game I've beaten already. Okay. I'm gonna guess that those guys are probably impossible to take down, is going to be my best guess. But I only have 4 of the 8 red coins, so that's really concerning. Is the other one over here? Wow, that just ate my long jump. That just totally gobbled it. Just totally chomped it right at the bit. That was completely ridiculous. There we go. Let's see if we can't do something more like that. And this is going to lead up to... Oh, I don't like Hazy Maze Cave very much. I really do not. It's not a very good stage. I really hate this room. I hate the amount of trouble that it gives me every single time I go through it. Now I'm letting my frustration get to me, though. And that's never a good state of mind to play video games in. I've played enough competitive video games to know that Salt is the absolute crippler of skill. It just completely demolishes your ability to actually focus on what you're doing. Think things through with a calm state of mind. So take a few deep breaths, relax, because it's not that serious. You'll be able to get another chance, and you know, if things end up being so terrible, I can scrap the episode and redo it. But hopefully, you know, I don't think some things are going to get to that point. Keeping things relaxed, and I'm going to collect these other 4 red coins, hopefully pretty easily. Now I see 2 of them up here. And there are the other 2. Okay, and that's gonna also reward us with our 100 coin star collecting that last one, so I can take a breather. I figured it out. I found out the way through the room. Don't have to smash the eyeballs at all. Don't have to do anything with them. Get away from me, get away from me. I do not want anything to do with you. No thank you, no thank you. Extremely no thank you. And there's our final red coin, as well as the 100 coin star. That's really cool to see both cutscenes play back to back. You know what? All that frustration was worth it just for being able to see those cutscenes play back to back. That was enjoyable. There's gonna be our 100 coin star and the 8 red coin star just below. Can I jump into it? No, I wasn't even close. That was embarrassing. Alrighty, we can finally move on to star number 3! Yay! Alright, heading back in for star number 3, Metalhead Mario can move. So, as you might be able to guess for this, we're going to be needing the metal cap to be able to take care of this star. I appreciate that they managed to make some stars that needed the caps, and as you might remember, we accomplished star number 6 in Jolly Roger Bay when we were there before, using extremely skillful, I'm not even going to say extremely, I managed to time my swimming properly to be able to swim through the jet stream without using the required metal cap. The way that you're supposed to do it is to use one of the metal cap boxes in the stage to be able to get through the jet stream with no issue. It doesn't impede you whatsoever when you're made of metal, of course. But I decided not to do that. However, in this stage, as far as I know, the metal cap is required for you to be able to do the necessary thing. You must run through the water, which you're going to be slowed slightly when you enter the water. As you might imagine, movement is a little bit slower when you're trudging through a liquid. We're going to follow this cleverly darkened path right up to this switch here, press it down, and head on through. And of course the game's got to test you on your long jump skills a couple more times, as if the long jump at the very beginning of the stage wasn't testing enough for you. And here's star number 3, so much quicker than the 100 coins. Star number 4, navigating the toxic maze. Let's see if I can even remember which star this is in particular. Why don't we? There are a couple of different stars that I kind of mix up in my head, and considering there's 3 more of them that have effectively the same challenge concerning getting to them, it's going to be interesting to see how my mind is able to... Oh no, actually, I know exactly where all 3 of them are now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more. So yeah, cleaning up the rest of the stage should be a much easier time than doing the first half of it. That was so terribly difficult for whatever reason. Let's grab this metal cap again, and then I believe we head... Nope, it's not this one. This is the blue coin door. It's right over here. You can see this green slime kind of coming out of the wall. And if we head through here, there's going to be some fire guys and some bats, but they can't stand up to the metal power of Metal Mario. He's as Tenacious D once eloquently put, you cannot kill the metal. And you cannot kill me gathering all these stars either. Star number 6, amazing emergency exit. Quite. This one also requires you to go into the toxic maze, yes? I was just stating that I know exactly where all 3 of these stars are, and now suddenly... Oh yeah, I know where this one is. It's actually going to be that path that we climbed on before. I know exactly where that is. Or at least I hope I do. I believe you have to go back into the poison maze, and we're actually going to take that path that the blue coins led us to before. Right? Yeah, because we don't want to go that way. That way leads back to the central room. This is the blue coin switch, which I might as well grab while I'm here, just to top up my health while I'm in the poison. And the crafty wall jump is going to get us up here to the elevator in this room, I believe. Yeah, this is where I mistakenly came on the 100 coin star, and I was like, this is not the way. This is not the way. You do not know the way. You know, that's actually, makes me think of an interesting discussion that I would like to bring up that I can probably just get through while I'm grabbing this star. The half-life of memes is like daily nowadays. I remember way back when a meme would stick around for, a couple of years perhaps, but nowadays these things get recycled so quickly. I think that was the beginning of 2019. I can't even remember anymore because the timeline is just, it advances so quickly, That's gonna be star number 5 for us. We've only got one more, only 40 minutes into recording. Oh, and for recovering 50 power stars, now you can open the star door on the 3rd floor. Bowser's there, Oh, you found all the cap switches, haven't you? Red, green, and blue. The caps you get from the colored blocks are really helpful. Hurry along now, the 3rd floor is just ahead. Well, it's going to be a really long time before we get anywhere near the 3rd floor of the castle. We've still got business to take care of in 6, 7, 8, and 9 before we can even touch that. So let's watch for rolling rocks. So this one totally bewildered me as a kid, which is hilarious considering how easy this star is. So I knew it had something to do with the rolling rocks, but I was like, well, I already collected the star for, the emergency exit. It can't be that one. And I was just walking around this area totally confused. And literally all you have to do is get past the rolling rocks and do 2 wall jumps. That's it. That's literally all you have to do, and it just rewards you with a star. This is like something out of Super Mario Odyssey, I'm telling you. Sorry, that's a poor joke. Power Moon, right? Alright, that's enough joking, and probably enough progress for this episode. Before I cap things off, since I'm going to have to cut so much out, I can imagine this episode only reaching into the 15-minute part. No, it took me way longer than that to do the 100 coins, so probably much longer. But let's go ahead and get in front of course number 7, which I actually believe is right here. It's right outside the doors. Makes things a little bit easy for us. So, folks, I hope you enjoyed this part of Let's Play Super Mario 64, part number 9, and I hope you'll be staying tuned for part 10. My name is Reddy Opko, and I'll be seeing you then.